What's going on, guys? Today we have the Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 9, titled Old Friends Not Forgotten. The Sage has begun. Let's go.
Hello there.
What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well today. It's Unofficial Star Wars here, and today we have our episode review and breakdown as well, and some things you may have missed in the Clone Wars Episode 9, Season 7, titled Old Friends Not Forgotten. First things first, before we jump into today's video, this video does include spoilers to the episode and the season, so you have been warned, but that's obvious. I'm also going to try to take my time to explain everything we saw in this episode and things you may have missed, so grab a snack, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Jumping into today's video, the first thing we started with was Obi-Wan and Anakin on the bridge fighting separatist powers on the planet named Cato Nimundi. I think I pronounced that wrong, but as you may have caught, that's the same situation Anakin is talking about in Revenge of the Sith when he saved Obi-Wan for the 10th time.
Alright. Well, you owe me one, and not for saving your skin for the 10th time.
9th time. That business on Cato Nemoidia doesn't count.
Of course, as Anakin had planned with his 501st troops, they had their trap to the separatists, which fooled them and led our heroes to win and attack and get the upper hand. This can also be seen as a little bit of a foreshadowing for later in the episode with Ahsoka falling into Maul's trap, but we'll get to that in a moment. I really like the fact that they made it so Anakin isn't very overpowered, and as I think in some of the other Clone Wars episodes, he can be a bit overpowered. And I'm not comparing it to other Jedi, as we all know Anakin is the chosen one, and he's supposed to be more powerful than other Jedi, but comparing it to the movies. And I also know that the show is animated and it's way easier to make characters do what you want with them. I also want to point out some other Jedi we see before we ever get to this point, which are Plo Koon and Alea Sakura. I think I pronounced that right. As they are both in the same planets that we see the two in Revenge of the Sith, which lines up perfectly for the timelines of the movie Revenge of the Sith and Sage on Mandalore taking place at the same time. We also see Grievous at the beginning of the episode looking absolutely menacing, with the overall graphics and animation looking 10 times better than they last did the last time we saw the show 7 years ago. But we can definitely see that the team took extra time to make sure that these animations and these episodes turned out not good, but fantastic. They are very important and have been long awaited. Moving on, Anakin and Obi-Wan get a message to report back to the ship as they have a very important message from the codename Falcom, which we can all see being the one and only Ahsoka. This is also the same codename she uses in Rebels. But before guessing it's Ahsoka, they guess it's Saw Gerrera, which if you didn't know, it's the same guy we see in Rogue One, and even in some of the other seasons of the Clone Wars. When the two reach the ship, we have the long-awaited reveal of Ahsoka Tano and Anakin talking for the first time in at least 2 years, I think, in the show, but 7 years for us, which makes it all more emotional. We can see Ahsoka means business, but Anakin, as we see in the movies, wants to know where she's been and how she's been all this time, which is another pointer to Anakin holding on to personal attachments and feelings towards people. Ahsoka and Lady Bo-Katan talk on the hologram before actually meeting up to discuss some type of agreement, and possibly getting some support on the Sage of Mandalore. When they finally meet in person aboard the ship, it's quite emotional, at least for Anakin and probably the rest of us, but Ahsoka means business, and kind of even puts off Anakin, and makes him stay focused with what's needed to be done, saying that the two will catch up later. After discussing some type of agreement for the Republic's aid, with this, Obi-Wan says he will talk to the Council, even though there isn't much time for that. He kind of puts it off and wants to take his time with it, even though there isn't time. Lady Bo-Katan tries to convince him with wanting to take revenge for Satine, and even tries to bring his past feelings in it from the past before her death. Like any other good Jedi, unlike Anakin, he brushes it off and sticks to wanting to discuss it with the Jedi Council. In the meantime, Anakin and Ahsoka get to catch up just a little when Anakin wants to show her something being part of the 501st Legion for her and their new painted orange helmets. She also gets her lightsabers before the alarm is sounded for an emergency, being the rescue of the Chancellor. And as we all know, how Revenge of the Sith begins is with the rescue of the Chancellor. The Sage on Mandalore lines up perfectly with Revenge of the Sith. Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka all discuss and come to the agreement, with Anakin giving her part of the 501st Legion to go with her for the Sage on Mandalore in a short time. Then the three split paths, one last time before going their separate ways for their missions, as Anakin and Obi-Wan will go to rescue the Chancellor, and Ahsoka and Lady Bo-Katan will go capture Maul and take back Mandalore. Ahsoka and Lady Bo-Katan make their way to Mandalore with the help of part of the Republic and part of the 501st. Now we're really moving on into the Sage of Mandalore. Like, it's happening. After 7 years, it's finally happening. Things didn't move too fast. They moved perfectly, in my opinion. They made their way in, and this whole scene is just insane, with Ahsoka jumping ship to ship, and Lady Bo-Katan and the rest of the 501st troops and Mandalorians with their jetpacks. Then as Ahsoka made her way down on top of the gunship, and the explosion behind her is insane and looks amazing. It just goes to show how far she's come, and everything has led to this. When Lady Bo-Katan makes her way into the throne room, man, she is ruthless, and in my opinion, it's pretty underrated. She means business and is crazy with things. Things begin to get a little fast here, in my opinion. Just a little, though. When they make their way into the sewers below the city, where the Death Watch leads the 501st and Ahsoka to Maul, slowly picking off her troops, just leaving Ahsoka. Then, we have the big reveal of Maul comes out of the darkness, and that just gives me chills. Then, leaving the episode on a cliffhanger, they cut to black. This whole part just gives me chills and kind of worries me, even though we know Ahsoka will be fine, because we see not only her, but Maul as well in Star Wars Rebels. A few things I wanted to point out here. We have Rex, first of all, is promoted to Commander, and Captain V, who is a newer character but doesn't last long, sadly, and even though we didn't see much of him, it's always sad to see a clone die.
Amanda.
I also want to point out how we see Clone Trooper Jesse is missing from all the action, as the last time we saw him and Kix, the 501st medic, in the Bad Batch arc, the very first 4 episodes of the new season. I hope we get to see these two one more time, even if it's sad. As well as the Bad Batch, it would be nice to see them as well one more time. One more thing I want to point out is how amazing the production team for this show did an amazing job setting this all up and getting us here. And bringing the show back, it's all very special. It's all a very special thing. Of course, we all saw the opening title was red when it's normally yellow, and the Lucasfilm logo appear as well, signifying that this will be a very intense part of the season and that the finale of things as well is here. We also see the phrase part 1 to it all as well. Overall, I cannot wait for the next episode and to see what happens next. Overall rating on this episode is obviously going to land a solid 10 out of 10, and definitely makes up for the last arc with Trace and Rafa, as a lot of people, including myself, weren't the biggest fans of it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, drop a like to support us. Go comment on your favorite thing you saw in the new episode or something you noticed. Subscribe for more content like this, and follow our Instagram, Unofficial Star Wars, linked in the description. And of course, may the Force be with you. Peace out.